The journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? Or the journey of 1,000 miles ends with blank. Fill in the blank. Sometime around my 5th year teaching, I began to work in some administrative capacity. I was pretty good at classroom management, and the administrators began to notice. So they allowed me to get out the classroom for a couple periods during the day sometimes, and I would get to help out with school-wide behavior issues and help some teachers with their classroom management as well, because I was good at it. No one could figure out why I was so good at classroom management, and trust me, it wasn't a magic pill. It was a very simple formula. But observing other teachers, I learned that some of their classes were straight up out of a movie. Miss Coleman, her class was pretty wild. It's like the students ran a classroom. Some students would always be sitting on a desk or eating, just pretty much doing whatever they wanted while she was up at the board writing and kind of talking to herself. Nobody was listening. And Mr. Henderson's class, that was like a zoo. And it was funny because his class always had like some type of horror movie element, like flickering lights or dimly lit corner. And the students would always be throwing a book or throwing a book out the window or throwing a book at each other, maybe throwing books at him. I don't know. But it's pretty crazy. And he would always sit at his desk and pretend like he didn't care. Naturally, both of them, knowing that I was quote unquote good at classroom management, would start asking me like, what do you do? How do you control these little middle school students? How do you control them? Because I've tried everything. And I say, hey, I'd be happy to share. It's a super simple strategy. Here's the method. I would explain it, break it down, give the details, tell them how and why, and tell them like exactly the time frame that it's going to take to kind of, slow implementation. But you could do it instantly, but it's going to take a while. I would tell them all the time. And naturally, I would eventually circle back to these pretty scary movie classrooms and ask the teachers, Mr. Henderson, did you try the method that I taught you to use? And of course, the answer is always no. So of course I'm like, well, why not? And their answer is normally something to the effect of, can't be serious. The super simple strategy is I walk students home. I become a part of their community. I make sure that when I walk them home, I speak to not only their parents, but other parents in the neighborhood. I make sure I find something positive to say about the students. This is very important because if this particular day I say, well, Maya worked really hard today and she did all her work, it might all be wrong, but either way, I'm gonna say something positive. So when I have to pull up the same parent about something negative, they're not like, well, you're just picking on my child. They now know that I'm an honest person, I'm a fair person, I have no problem saying something positive about their kid, and I'm building trust. And I'm establishing a relationship and a rapport with the community. So I make sure I'm in the neighborhood, I make sure I speak to the parents, the siblings, the big brothers, the little sisters, the uncles, the caregivers, the people who are watching the kids while the parents are at school. I make sure I speak to everybody. So I have a point of reference when I have a problem with this child, or I have a point of reference to give a compliment for this child. Make sure you drop some compliments when you're in the neighborhood. Maya had a great day today. She did really well in school. Maya might get in trouble every other day. But if you're in the neighborhood and you say your child did well, guess what? The next time you call to say something negative, they're gonna trust you a lot more because you're establishing trust. You're building a relationship. You're showing that you're honest and you can say something positive and negative. They respect that. That goes a long way. Give compliments when you can, because it's not often. Some students, they make it very hard to find something positive, but I promise you, if you can give something positive to a parent, that's all they want to hear. Put yourself in their shoes. They know that child acting up. They know that child is pretty wild out at home. So think about it. Give them something positive. Build trust, establish relationships. Show them that you're not afraid of where they come from. Show them that you care about where they come from. Immerse yourself in the community, they'll respect you a lot more. The school will respect you a lot more. You'll become the talk of the school. Mr. J, I saw you walking down Division Street. I used to get my hair braided in the kids' neighborhood just to let them know that, this is my territory now. I'm from East Baltimore, but West Baltimore does not scare me. Establish yourself as a person who is not afraid of their community. Give some compliments. Definitely spend some time talking to people. Let the neighborhood know who you are. You want to build relationships. That could be the difference between a well-behaved class and a class that is acting wild. They get to know you on a different level. They respect you on a different level if they see that you respect them, their neighborhood. Now, what I will say, you might see some horror stories. You might see some things that are pretty scary if you go into some of the homes. And also check with your administration on their rules of whether you're allowed to actually go in homes. But walk in the neighborhood, it's a public area. They can't really control you. They might frown upon it, but I would strongly suggest doing it. If you don't feel safe for whatever strange reason, I suggest taking a coworker. But walk in these kids' neighborhoods, walk a mile in their shoes, get to know them better. It's definitely going to help in your classroom management area. So that's the strategy. Walk your students home. Go into their neighborhoods. Get to meet their parents, their neighbors, their relatives, their community members. What's it going to hurt? Are you brave enough to try this? I want everyone to try this for a week if you haven't done it already, or try it for one day. Show that you're not afraid of where they live. Show that you respect where they live. If you don't feel safe, take a coworker. Who's brave enough to try this? So as always, if you have a walking home story or being in a community story, please leave it in the comments. Let somebody know the positive results that came from that. Please leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you next video.